Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. In my videos, I use both Vedic and traditional Western techniques with tropical astrology, not sidereal astrology. I also use the traditional system of whole sign astrology for my analysis. You can use this video to the best of your advantage by listening to the introduction to understand what the week holds for you, and then going to the timestamps for your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a more personalized forecast for the week ahead. Astrology is not designed to scare you. It's designed to give you information so that you know what the good and the challenging energies in the week ahead will be, and you can therefore consciously work with them to the best of your advantage. Remember, knowledge is power. Now, there are scammers about, and so if you should receive a message from me on any platform requesting your money for a reading, know that it is a scam. Report them immediately. And now settle in and let's see what the astral skies have in store for the week ahead. Hello all my astrology lovers out there. We are back together again to look at what's happening in the skies from the 9th of March through to the 16th of March. And this is quite an interesting week. There's going to be a lot of fascinating energies, so tune in to the introduction here before we get to the all signs breakdown. Before we do that, I want to announce the winner of the solar return report for last month, the month of February, and it's Lakira McNatt. So Lakira, congratulations. Thank you for sharing my videos on your social media channels. I saw them there, and I know you've liked, shared, and subscribed. So do get in touch with me via the Guiding Star website to let me know your email address so that I can send you a solar return report. Congratulations. And remember, my friends, all you've got to do is like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel in order to go into the draw every month to win a solar return report. Fantastic. And congratulations, Lakira. Thank you for sharing my work with your audience. Now, I also want to promote that I am launching this week a special discount to celebrate the equinox. Now, we're not quite at equinox this week yet, but I'm doing this early because we're going to be having eclipses all through equinox season. So, or the beginning of the astrological new year, which is otherwise known as the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. So to celebrate, I'm getting in early. And so for the duration of now until equinox, and then for also the duration of the eclipse season, I'm offering my Royal Stars Academy Level 2 course for $100 off. That is 10% off the usual price. Do check that out. And remember, if you are also a gold or a silver star Patreon member, you're actually going to get $150 off, more than what I'm offering here. So you could join, if you want to, the Patreon page as a gold or silver star member and get $150 off the not the introductory level, the intermediate level of the Royal Stars Academy. It's the most amazing course, over 100 hours of deep diving into astrology, learning to understand it from Vedic perspectives, but also ancient Babylonian and ancient Hellenistic astrology perspectives as well. We look at so much. I mean, where do I even start? I've had a lot of my current students telling me that the value for money is just off the charts. So do come join me. Now is your chance to celebrate the astrological new year and come study astrology with me for $100 off the usual price. And don't forget, if you are a Patreon member, all Patreon members from the lower levels to, from Bronze Star level to Gold and Silver Star level of the Patreon family, we are having a live chat next week on the 14th of March. We're going to be all getting together with our coffee in hand, and we're going to have a big powwow all about astrology and what's meaningful to us in astrology, what we're learning at the moment. It is going to be awesome. So if you're not a Patreon member and you would like to meet up with me and have a big group chat, then do join before the 14th of March when that occurs. All right, what's happening in the sky this week? We're kicking it off on the 9th of March with a square between Mars and Uranus. So down here is Uranus. Actually, these two are a little bit separate at the moment, so I'll pop them like that. Uranus is down here in Taurus, and we've got Mars in Aquarius. Now, pushing through what is the new moon there, we're going to be having a square aspect, a 90-degree aspect between these two. Now, often hard aspects between Mars and Uranus can result in earth tremors, like earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, that sort of thing. So this is the closing square between these two. We might be seeing some earth activity. This is also an energy for making sudden leaps, like stepping in too quickly. Now, I'm always doing that. You know, I'm all about efficiency, rush, 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 and I'm always jumping in too quick and making mistakes, especially when it comes to things around the house. But this energy is also like that. It's about making sudden leaps into something new, something that looks exciting, something that looks fun. Boom, we jump right in without thinking, and it leads to trouble. It can lead to trauma. It can lead to injuries. So under this energy on the 9th of March, it is the time for thinking twice before you leap, looking well and researching well before you leap. Boredom and restlessness can prevail, and that makes us just eager for anything new and exciting, and hence we do the looking before you leap thing. The non-looking before we leap thing, I should say. But this boredom and restlessness, it's like we just want to break free of the situation we're in, where we're feeling stuck, where we're feeling like there's no momentum and forward motion. We want out of that. And this tense square can make us excited to move forward before we're actually ready. It can make us in a positive, very innovative, enthusiastic, but it can also cause conflicts and instability. So forearmed, my friends. Are you desiring a bit more diversity in your life? Well, just watch where you tread on the 9th of March. Change can come quickly. It really can, especially once the square begins to close. The build up to the square is tense and difficult, but then once the square by exact degree has formed, then we can start to see some relief. But try and ensure that you move ahead with cautious action and thoroughness, lest you wind up in some sort of undesirable situation that you don't actually want to be in. Now, this square is occurring, I'll give you the exact degrees, at 19 degrees. So Uranus is at 19 degrees, and we also have Mars at 19 degrees of what signs? Fixed signs, Aquarius and Taurus. Then on the 9th of March as well, we have Mercury over here moving into Aries. Now, this is following on the heels of Mercury being in Pisces and recently having a conjunction with Neptune. This new energy feels like a change, out of your silky lingerie into your sportswear. That's what the difference between Pisces and Aries is like. Very, very different. So our thought processes become lightning fast now. We make decisions quickly, in a snappy way, and easily. Now, I just want to point out that because you're deciding things so rapidly with Mercury in Aries, that can mean, again, that looking before you leap process happens before you've maybe taken the time that you need to look at every angle. Okay, we're making decisions so fast now. But it is positive, generally speaking, for the next roughly 3 weeks or so while Mercury's here. Our thinking gets directed to how we can best support ourselves with instant gratification, because that's Aries. It's such a rapid fire energy. It wants to make decisions that lead to immediate results. It doesn't want to wait. So there's no getting bogged down in details here. We're all about being straight up and enthusiastic and going for it. So this is combined with the Mars square to Uranus, my God, it's going to be quite a day, the 9th of March. On the 10th of March, we've got the new moon down here in Pisces at 20 degrees. And I talked all about that in a recent Patreon video. We break it down for all signs. This is a miraculous, miracle-inducing new moon in Pisces. It's the last moon lunation of the year before we then move into of the astrological year before we then move into equinox. And it really it's asking us, what do we want to manifest now? Where does Pisces fall in your chart? That's the area of manifestation. That's where the new beginnings will be starting. And remember, my friends, there are no coincidences. Everything is part of the orchestration by the divine under this energy. This new moon can also represent a last chance. Remember, it's the last new moon of the astro year to make your dreams come true. So what do you need to do to make your dreams come true, to see the miracles happen in your life? If you want to know more, head over to the Patreon family. Join up now. You'll be in time to catch all the eclipse goodness that I'm going to be sharing on my Patreon page, Patreon family, when that arrives as well. But you can join up now early and get the juicy goss on this new moon in Pisces. On the 11th of March, Venus over here is going to move out of Aquarius, where she's been in a conjunction with Mars, and into Pisces. What is Venus in Pisces? She's exalted. Her most powerful point is Venus in Pisces. So I love this time of year when Venus moves into Pisces, because it heralds a 3 to 4 week period of everything being just lovely. Venus is loveliness, it's delight, it's pleasure. It's a wonderful, dreamy time for all things Venusian. And what might this mean? Well, it means our appreciation of the finer things, of art, of poetry, of glamour. They're all taken to new, enjoyable heights. So you might be inspired under this energy to join an art class or a dance session. This is a great way to immerse yourself in the beautiful energy of Venus in Pisces for the next 3 weeks or so. We are also hungry for unconditional love under this energy, and we might even be embracing a more romanticized view of the world as well. So try and keep your feet on the ground a little bit. But forgiveness of other people is one of the strengths of this placement, Venus in Pisces. So seek to resolve the wounds that have happened in your life since Venus was last here a year ago. Let it go and be free, be light and, flexible. Venus in Pisces is going to help you release any grudges, any disappointments, any frustrations with others that you might have. So forgiveness is such a healthy thing to do. The more we can forgive, the better our health can be. Forgiveness is very tied to digestive problems. Lack of forgiveness is tied to digestive problems. And, if we can let go and be light in the world, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, we really can have such a more fulfilled, lighter vibration and therefore a happier life. Okay, March the 12th is when we're going to see eclipse activation begin. So that's why this week is a very special week, because the eclipse activation starts. Now I've got a video coming up next week that is going to be all about the eclipse and for all signs. Plus I'm going to have an extended Patreon analysis. So you'll get a taste of the eclipse and what it's going to do for you next week. And then if you want more info, really do a deep dive into the eclipse and what it will bring you, there's going to be a Patreon video next week as well. But we're entering into the zone this week. The zone for manifestation can happen anytime from the 12th of March onwards in relation to what this eclipse is destined to bring you. So keep your eyes peeled, my friends, from the 12th of March. Any unusual events, any exciting happenings, any new people that you meet could be part of what the eclipse is wanting to do for you. Very exciting time. We all love eclipse season. So that's the 12th of March. And now, my friends, we're going to be exploring the breakdown for all signs. And we're looking this week at the what have I got drawn to Jupiter there? Silly me. Uranus to Mars square and what it's going to be bringing us. And we're going to start with Aquarius this week, where Mars resides. So if you're Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising sign, then that's where we're beginning with your sign. We've got Mars squaring, I'm going to move that around a bit. Mars is squaring Uranus. What is that going to bring? Well, this could bring some surprise, sudden shocks into your life, and it could be with your physical body. I'm not here to scare anybody, but do be careful where you take your body in the next week or so with this energy unfolding, Drive carefully. Don't go down any dark alleys or anything like that, because this is an energy for accidents. It's not an energy for crime or anything like that, but it's an energy for accidents and making sort of mistakes, tripping over something, that kind of stuff, and impacting your body. The body is where you're going to feel this, Aquarius. So what you can do instead is direct your energy into physical exercise that regulates the flow of energy now. Things like martial arts, karate, tai chi, yoga, any of those sort of managing and mastering your body and its activity kind of with slow, deliberate movements. That is very much where you can be directing your energy and getting some benefit out of it. You might feel very restless and anxious in the body, like in the spirit or the vibration of your body, and that's when we can make some mistakes because we're being too hasty, we're being too reckless. So try and slow down the body a little bit, take it easy, don't push yourself to the limit, don't sort of go to the gym and try and pump, heavier weight than you've ever lifted before, because those sorts of rash decisions can lead to injuries in the body at this time with Mars square to Uranus. Also, be careful, my friends, around electricity, machinery, anything that involves like sharp objects like knives or ammunition or guns and that kind of thing. Just be careful around those things, because this is a square, it's a hard aspect, it's a difficult aspect, and of course Mars and Uranus sort of have rulership of these things. Mars is sort of the machinery, the guns, the sharp implements, and Uranus is electricity. So no sticking the knife in the toaster to try and get that bit of toast out of the bottom this week, my friends. My son's always telling me off for doing that. Naughty me. Now, this is also forming on the relationship axis, so there can be some difficulties in relationships, maybe some blow-ups, some volcanic eruptions, if you like, in relationships this week. It could happen with a partner, business partner, marriage partner. It could also happen with family members, because Uranus is down in the realm of family for you Aquarian people, and so the eruptions could occur with a mother or someone in the maternal line, or any parents, grandparents, that sort of thing. Anybody in your family lineage you might have a bit of a blow up with. That's one thing that can happen. Now, because this is happening to affect your body, this energy, this combination of Mars square to Uranus, your sexual drive can be heightened, and you might actually have a desire to experience in the body something a bit more experimental sexually. Mars is a highly sexualized planet. Uranus wants to experiment. This is all taking place and affecting the house of you and your body. So you might physically want to experience something a bit different, something a bit left of center, something you've never tried before. That could be fun. Of course, but do be very careful. Remember what I've said and warned you about with all these physical things to be aware of. Electricity, sharp implements, all that kind of thing. And use your imagination there, but be careful, my friends. So there can be physical effects with this combination, and I just encourage you to be careful. And you might find that there's something surprising in a good way, perhaps, about your body once you get through all this. Maybe your body might, end up being more stronger, more powerful in some way. You might be able to assert yourself more in a way you hadn't expected that you would be able to. This could be a good manifestation of this energy. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you, Aquarius. Now we're going to move on to Pisces, Pisces rising, and also Pisces sun and Pisces moon. It's quite the week for you, my lovely Pisces friends, because you've got this glorious new moon occurring in your sign. And so if you haven't checked out the Patreon video all about this, do check it out. It's quite wonderful. I've been re-listening to the video over and over because, of course, I'm a Pisces rising and it affects me greatly, and I'm very excited about this coming new moon. But today for our YouTube family, we're talking about the square between Mars in your 12th house to Uranus in the 3rd. Well, it can be very easy, Pisces, to lose your perspective under this energy. I just want to say, to sort of get carried away with the frustration, go down the rabbit hole of irritation in some manner. So be forewarned, forearmed about that. Try and keep your feet on the ground and keep some level-headedness about you. You could be there could be sort of a loss of perspective, like I said. There is also, because Mars is the energy of physicality. This isn't the house of the body, but Mars is our muscles. Mars rules our muscles. Mars rules our vitality and our energy. And so I would encourage you to balance this energy that is being amplified to a difficult degree by this square. I would encourage you, Pisces, jump in the water, go for a swim, go to the pool, go to the beach, go for a surf, do something where you can be in the water and letting off muscular steam in a watery environment. Be careful that you don't get out of your depth, literally and figuratively, like, only swim in water that you feel safe in and that sort of thing, because this is an energy for accidents. But your body's going to feel, or your energy will feel and your vibration will feel so much better by releasing some physical energy through 12th house mechanisms, which is the ocean and water bodies and that sort of thing. So if you're feeling reckless, if you're feeling anxious, then try and let off some steam in a watery environment. If you can't, like if it's too cold to go for a swim or something like that, you might like to take a walk beside water or along a riverbank or something. That can be almost just as good, actually. So do take care of your health, Pisces, to avoid, conditions that are associated with the nerves or stress under this combination. Now, this is the house of our past experiences earlier on in this life, and sort of things like self-sabotaging, self-denial. And this is where we need to learn to take responsibility, self-responsibility, to overcome these sort of inner insecurities and self-sabotaging behaviors. And with Mars being activated by Uranus here, you can actually do that. You can use this energy for good by asserting your willpower. You might find some sudden, surprising opportunity to assert yourself, or put your willpower into action that can actually heal some kind of old foible of yours. So by taking responsibility, by asserting yourself in probably in an instant, you can make a decision, I'm going to do this, and it changes everything. You can heal yourself. This is a healing house, the 12th house, of any old behaviors that are limiting you and holding you back. This is very much a house of letting go, releasing, saying goodbye to something. So it's a real dissolution energy. So this Uranus-Mars square can actually be very beneficial in this placement, Pisces, for letting go of old things that are holding you back, and then receiving some sort of liberation. It could be that somebody from the past might surprisingly come back into your life this week. You might cross paths with someone from the past, but it probably won't be somebody who is uplifting in your life. It could be somebody that gave you the shits earlier on in this incarnation, and you've got to encounter them again. But this too can be liberating. You meet up with them again, you realize they weren't the big deal you thought they were, and you move on. You let it go. It's a releasing energy. But certainly Uranus square to Mars can bring surprising people back from the past. It's up to you how you deal with that, but it can be a form of liberation for you, Pisces. So this is really the gist of what I'm getting for Pisces this week with this energy. keep your grounding, keep your perspective, release and let go, of things that are holding you back. Adopt a non-resistant attitude as much as possible. You're very good at that, actually, Pisces. You can really flow and keep flexible, and remove yourself from any situations that you might feel are potentially violent. I would just add as well with this energy too. So that's what I'm feeling into for Pisces, rising, sun or moon this week. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. If you're an Aries rising, sun or moon, then we've got the square between Mars and Uranus occurring in your 11th house, or that's where it's playing out. That's where you'll notice it most. So if you happen to be Aries rising, sun or moon, you might get a surprise situation with a friend. There might be a blow up with a friend, a mishap with a friend, an argument with a friend, or a friendship group. It could be that, the whole golf club takes you on because they're not happy with you parking in the manager's parking spot or something like that. Something like that, where you make an offhanded decision, a quick decision. I'm going to park in the manager's car park, and this is the sign that has to do with groups, organizations, clubs, and everyone sort of gets a bit ticked off, like blow up like a volcanic explosion. You shouldn't be parking in the manager's car park. That's the kind of thing. I've used a silly illustration, but this is the kind of thing we're talking about. Some group can get really ticked off at you because of some choice you've made. It could be a friend who gets ticked off at you. So don't lose perspective if that's what happens. Try and be diplomatic, try and be patient, Aries, and sort things out. Don't fire up in retaliation. But this is one of the social houses, so for you Aries people, it could be a little bit more of a difficult week than for other people because this is an energy of volatility. Okay, so you might have some volatile interactions with people that you ordinarily might really quite care about. So there can be some hasty decisions that you make as well. The 11th house is the house of our dreams and our goals as well. I mean, we might make some hasty decisions about, I don't know, I want to win the Nobel Peace Prize, so I'm going to enter, this thing that I've created into the Nobel Peace Prize, and really it's not that good, and you make a hasty decision and you kind of embarrass yourself. It's that sort of thing where you just go for some dream, some goal before you're actually ready for it, before you've done your due diligence and researched what's involved. Sort of hasty, rash decisions with, achieving and trying to achieve something before you're ready. So be aware about that. But the 11th house is the house of how we can achieve our dreams. So if you try and avoid the shadow side of this, which is to be too hasty, instead try and be innovative. Try and look for new solutions under this energy. This energy can be really, really good to help you see things from a different perspective. Uranus is anything new or alternative, and Mars is to put things into action. So if you try and find an innovative solution to something, Mars is also problem solving in an astrology chart as well, and how we can solve problems. So by being innovative and looking for a solution to a problem that is out of the box, you can actually have more of a chance to achieve your dreams. That's the best way to work with this combination of energy. This is also the house of what we need to do to effectively network. And this week, I would suggest it might be through connecting with unusual people, being willing to go up to a strange, when I say strange people who are, aren't part of the mainstream, alternative thinking people, alternative dressing people, people who are a bit quirky, a bit interesting in the best ways. If you were to go up to take some courage, Mars's courage, and go and interact and network with such people, Uranian style people, you're actually generating the positivity of this energy, and it can help you network better and create contacts that could really be beneficial down the track. This is also the house of our stepchildren and children-in-law as well. Obviously, same thing. So this is an energy that could be affecting any of your stepchildren if you're an Aries rising sun or moon. They might have some accidents or be having big arguments with you this week. They might be provoking, or you might be provoking them. So be careful, tread with caution, don't be too hasty. Be patient and kind as much as you can with those relationships in your life, and you will do so much better in those circumstances. Thank you, Aries. All right. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. Taurus rising, Taurus sun and Taurus moon people. The energy of Mars in a square aspect with Uranus is between your 10th house and your 1st house. This is angular, so it's going to be felt more powerfully. And this is an energy of sudden surprising shocks. This will happen relating to your 10th house of career, what you are trying to achieve in the world, the legacy that you are trying to leave as a hallmark of your life here on the planet. There can be a shock with that sort of thing. Let's say you're wanting to, leave a wonderful family history that you've been researching for 10 years. And there might be a shock. You might have a discovery because you want to leave this family history. That's a legacy you want to leave. You might have a shock discovery that a ton of the research you've done, oh my God, it happens to be on the wrong person. I thought that was great-great-great-grandmother listed in those archives, but it turns out it's somebody completely unrelated to us. And you could have a shock regarding something like that, the legacy, for example, that you're hoping to leave. Many millions of different ways that could exhibit, but there's likely to be a shock with your career, like I said, or some legacy. Now, the 10th house is also the house of the image that we need to exhibit to the world in order to be successful. That's what it represents in our natal chart. But this week with Mars making a square to Uranus, it's really through being proactive. It's through being a go-getter. It's through instigating new things and being entrepreneurial. That's how you're going to be successful this week. That's how you can work with this energy to your best advantage, my friends, by doing those sorts of things, on taking an entrepreneurial step forward or being courageous. There's a new job opportunity. Are you good enough to get it or not? Who knows? But I'm going to be courageous and go for it anyway. That's what this is all about. Now, this is the house that is representative of bosses and government officials and people who are in authority over us, Taurus. So it's very possible that you might be having some arguments or upsets with those significant people in life. Don't lose perspective. Try and remain humble as much as you can. This may happen, but it's only a quick passing energy. Try not to make rash, hasty choices and decisions that will impact you going forward in the long term, in the negative. Try and be gracious. And try and be a peacemaker as much as you can. That's kind of the opposite energy to Mars, which is very agitating. So keep in mind that you want to keep the harmony and the balance as much as possible this week. It's also the house of our parents-in-law. So you might find because of that there could be a bit of argy-bargy with your parents-in-law as well. There could be some big changes, some sudden shocks in the life of our parents-in-law or in the life of bosses and those in authority over us. They might go through, it mightn't happen between you and them, but it might happen that in their lives some big changes happen, some redirectioning happens, some shock, some accident, some mishap might happen to those significant people. So it mightn't be about the relationship you have with them. It could actually be about their lives and what's going on in their lives. The 10th house is the house of what we need to do to gain, I've already talked about that, haven't I? The recognition and success in the world. As I said, it's from putting yourself out there courageously. But also the 10th house is how we can be an inspiration to others. And it's through Mars-Uranus energy that you have the ability, my Taurus friends, to be an inspiration to other people. And what does that look like? It looks like being a little bit different, being courageous enough to step out of the path well trodden and go the path less trodden instead. Being creative. Mars-Uranus is a very creative combination. Being very entrepreneurial. I've talked about that. But by doing those things, you might find that you're an inspiration to others. And by being courageous, I keep coming back in my head to the word courage. Being courageous can actually make you an inspiration to all those in your life, your children, your parents, by you being willing to take a risk and step out courageously. That said, remember what I said in the introduction, Taurus, do your due diligence, don't make a rash, hasty, if courageous decision. Make sure that it's going to, you've covered all your bases, dotted your I's and crossed your T's, so that you are ready to make a courageous move forward in the world. And then you can inspire other people and perhaps move more towards success yourself. Thank you, Taurus. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. Gemini rising, Gemini sun, and Gemini moon people. Well, for Gemini people this week, we are having I'll just hold that still there. We are having, if we're Gemini, the energy of Mars in a square to Uranus occurring in the 9th house. This means that if you're planning on traveling, Gemini, doing some sort of long trip or going to another country, you might encounter some sort of shock, something unexpected, some mishap, some problem that you need to sort through. So make sure before you travel that you've got your visa in order, that you've got your immigration papers in order, so that you don't, you've covered every base that you possibly can and you're not left, in a difficult position. So I just warn you about that one with this combination if you're traveling this week, particularly on the 9th of March. If you're relocating to another country, my beautiful Gemini people, to live, then I don't know, I'd be kind of inclined to try and do it in a different week, perhaps not this week, because this is a bit volatile. It could mean that you encounter difficulties setting up home in another country, problems. Health issues could be another manifestation of this. Things that happen as a result of stress and the frustrations in the nervous system from things going wrong. So I'm not meaning to sort of sound like a negative Nelly here, but that's what this energy can represent for some people who are trying to relocate at this time. This 9th house is the house of the secrets of our parents. actually. So there could be, you might be surprised by discovering some secret that your parents have been keeping from you this week. It could be shocking, surprising, could be earth-shattering, but this is the house of the secrets of our parents as well. So be forewarned, forearmed. This is also the house of our grandchildren. So do sort of, check in on your grandkids this week, and perhaps encourage your grandchildren to make, steady, slow choices, solid choices, rather than rushing in, trying to get something, trying to get instant gratification, trying to make something happen immediately. Encourage them to sort of slow up a bit, take their time and not rush, just to avoid mistakes and accidents and things like that. Same goes for your second life partner, Gemini. If you are remarried for the second time, this is the house of your second partner, and they might be being affected by this combination as well. So you might need to sort of encourage your partner to slow up and not rush and be cautious, all that kind of thing. I mean, that can be real naggy. I know, and people don't often like us to do that. But I don't know, I think I'd rather, forewarn, forearm people than for them to go through a difficulty that perhaps could have been avoided. So this is the ninth house is the house of how we obtain knowledge as well. And this knowledge could come to you in a flash of insight, a flash of understanding, penny drop moments, epiphanies, aha situations that could come your way, Gemini, in a sort of a big shock. They're not likely to be the kind of epiphanies that we get when we're like, now I found, the way to make $1 bazillion, that sort of epiphany. It's more like, now I understand why everything was going wrong kind of thing. Those sorts of epiphanies, the level of understanding and seeing where the problems are. But the good news is, with a square between Mars and Uranus, you're going to be able to get an epiphany about where the problem is. And Mars is a very proactive planet for problem solving, problem fixing. So you're going to be able to get the insight and the wisdom. I know what the issue is. And you can use your courage, Mars willpower, to make a change, to turn things around and to solve a problem. This is the house of our purpose and our meaning, our dharma, in other words. And you might be able to achieve your dharma more, or achieve more purpose and meaning in life by being courageous, by stepping out of your comfort zone. This is a real energy for being out of our comfort zone, making big changes, courageous changes. Just make sure that you have explored all avenues so that you're not jumping in, both feet into the water without checking the depth first. So it's very much about making changes, though, that are courageous, that can give our life more meaning, more purpose. You might find your truth, find your freedom, find your liberation by being courageous here. Yes, so that's what I would suggest for our Gemini rising, sun and moon people. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. Now, if you're a Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon person, the energy of the Mars in a square aspect to Uranus, which is really quite a volatile energy, is being felt from the 8th house. That's where it's going to be exhibiting most. So this is, I just have to warn my Cancer friends that this is one of the most fast-paced places you can be having this energy. It's things happen so rapidly, you're left catching your breath, trying to catch your breath or reeling because things just happen so quickly. Uranus is a fast energy and it's making an aspect to the fast planet Mars in the fastest, quickest house, the 8th house. So sudden surprises, sudden shocks that come your way, and you're just like, oh my God, what was that? What just happened? So keep that in mind as well. But the eighth house is a house of big life turns around. You're in one situation one day, and the next day your life is in a completely different situation. It's chalk and cheese kind of energy. But the good news for our Cancer friends is, and I'm so pleased to share this with you, Cancer, when you've got a malefic planet and even a malefic energy, as this square between Uranus and Mars is, when this is occurring in a malefic house, which the eighth house is, it cancels out the malefic manifestation. So the change that is likely to come for our Cancer people can be very beneficial. Yes, you might be left, catching your breath or head spinning because the change was so rapid, but it's likely to be a beneficial change now. It's likely to be a more empowering change in your life. So once you find your feet again and get your balance, then it can lead to some really, really good things. So adopt a non-resistant attitude as much as possible, Cancer, and you might find that this could be a very beneficial week for you because of this. It also is worth saying that you might need to make sure that you remove yourself from situations of violence or situations where accidents could occur, because this is an energy of having an accident and having a mistake happen, but you'll be able to like pull yourself up by the bootstraps and re-emerge like the phoenix rising from the ashes if that happens. But the easiest thing is just to avoid any sort of dangerous, difficult situations where possible. Don't overdo things. Don't take things too far. Avoid dark alleyways, that kind of thing. So this is an energy also that has to do with healing. The eighth house is a healing house, and so you might find that some sort of alternative healing practitioner, Uranus is anyone alternative, in this case in healing, which is eighth house energy, people like shaman, Reiki practitioners, chiropractors, astrologers and so forth, they can give you a big breakthrough and help you break away from a problem, an issue, something that was weighing heavily on you perhaps. So this is a real energy of breaking out of a rut, getting out of a stuck situation and doing it rapidly. So Cancer, I'll just ask you the question, where have you been feeling stuck in life? What has been feeling blocked in you? Well, this energy is going to kick that thing to the curb and help you move into some new and exciting reality. Very, very happy to tell you that. And also this is a hugely sexualized energy. Mars is the energy of desire and physical conquest, physical desire sexually. This is a house of sexuality in a square with Uranus, which likes to experiment. So, your sexual drive is going to be heightened because of this, and you are going to enjoy, more experimentative sex in unusual places, unusual positions, all that sort of thing, and trying new things, so enjoy that, use that energy. That's actually a gift, to be able to work with that energy in a way that is beneficial. Just be careful, and I said this before when I was talking about one of the other sexual houses, just be careful of sharp implements or fire. Mars is fire, sort of heat energy, and Uranus is electricity. So if you're experimenting with toys and things, just do be careful, my friends, because you don't want to have accidents in that sort of arena, if possible. But get ready, hang on to your hat. This is a very big week of change, I feel, for our Cancer friends. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. All right, Leo rising, Leo sun, Leo moon people, the energy of, swing it around there. The energy of Mars in a square aspect to Uranus is falling on an angular house for you, Leo. This is happening through exhibiting through the 7th house and with an aspect to Uranus from the 10th. So this is a big energy. We always feel things more when they're on angles. So Leo, you could be, some sort of surprise, some sort of shock, some sudden change could be happening in your life now. And most likely it's going to be happening not so much to you, Leo, but to your partner, to who you connect with. It could be a business partner, could be your lover, could be a committed partner, could be an audience, could be your clients, but other people are represented through the 7th house, the opposite of you. So this is where, they might have accidents, they might have mishaps, there might be some arguments with your significant others now. It might also be very easy for you to lose perspective, or maybe it's the partner that's losing perspective on reality. That's another way this can manifest too. It can be very provoking energies. So try and be the peacekeeper, Leo. Try to, tone things down. Don't take things personally. Try and keep calm and just flow with what is, so that you don't end up sort of throwing the baby out with the bathwater when you have an argument with your partner, or make hasty, rash decisions. It could be that the partner is making hasty, rash decisions as a result of the energy this week. Try and just be understanding that this is an energy. It will pass. It doesn't necessarily mean that the decisions they make are permanent ones. You might be able to work through things as this energy dissipates down the track. Take care, encourage your partners to be very careful with their health, especially with nerves and stress. Try to encourage your partners to sort of stress less, instead of them getting home from work and you telling them go out and mow the lawn. Why not suggest, let's watch a movie together, let's put our feet up and relax, the lawn can wait another couple of days. Try to be as supportive as you can, Leo, for partners, because they're going to be feeling the pressure of this energy in the coming week. This is the house of trade and sales and negotiation and mediation, and I've got to say, with this combination, negotiation and mediation can really fly out the window. Trade and sales situations can also be fraught with frustration as well. So be very careful about that. Try and sort of maybe avoid any fractious situations, any violence as well. I was reading some reports this week at my day job, actually, about some farmers who wanted to see some changes happen to their to the planning scheme in the community that they lived in, and some other people in the community, some other groups in the community didn't want those changes, and it actually resulted in physical violence between both these groups over a planning scheme amendment, a planning scheme change. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I thought people were more mature than that, but this is a very fractious community that I was reading about. Anyhow, there was no room for negotiation. There was no room for mediation in that scenario that I was reading about in this crazy shire that is on the periphery of a big city in Australia. So this can also be the case where, like, maybe let's say me as a town planner, I'm having to go in and negotiate and mediate with these two really fractious public groups, and there's just no way that it was going to be able to be resolved. If you are somebody who has to negotiate, mediate, or manage other people in any way, Leo, it's going to be really difficult this week. So if you're in a career position where that's what you do, or you're in a trading and sales kind of position as well, Leo, it could be very difficult this week. So for your sake, avoid any sort of fractious situations if you can. Postpone any meetings or deals or anything that might be a bit volatile, so that you don't have to be caught in a stressful, heated, difficult situation. That's what I would suggest for my beautiful Leo friends. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. All right, Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, people. Well, the energy of Mars in a square aspect with Uranus is going to be exhibiting through the 6th house for you this week, my beautiful Virgos. This is where you might get a surprise or some sort of shock happening. And it could happen with health or with diet. You know, David and I were reading up about cheese this week, and we were shocked to read the amount of, I guess, low-cost cheese that is full of fake chemical rennet instead of animal rennet, which is so much better for you. And to me that, you know, and to Dave, that was a shock because, you know, we think we're eating healthy, you know, and a bit of cheese on our omelette in the morning and stuff. And it actually turns out that it's not what we thought it was, you know. So this is the house of what we eat for our health, and you might get some sort of shock about what you're eating and what's really in it. I also saw another post last week, and God, it just got me so upset about the bugs that are in, you know, ground up bugs in food. So my friends, do your reading, find out what stupid Latin names they've given these bugs in your food and what you need to avoid, because we don't need that, you know. We don't need that. We need healthy, pure, as paleo as possible, I guess, diets to sort of support our health and our well-being, especially in this current world that we're living in. Enough of my jumping on my bandwagon there, but you might get a shock about the food that you're eating this week. You might get a shock about the exercise and what it's actually doing to you. I was also reading, been doing a lot of reading lately, about one of my mentors that I really like on YouTube, was talking about how she'd been doing some certain weights and what have you, and she was surprised to see certain bulk happening in an area that she didn't really want bulk happening. And so you might find some sort of shock or surprise about your muscles and exercise, which exercise is connected to the 6th house. Muscles are Mars. So you might get shocked about what is actually happening with your muscles when you exercise, when you do things for your health. So that can be another way this can manifest. Now, Virgo, this is the house of our enemies and confrontations and arguments, and this is an energy for confrontations and arguments. So, my dear Virgo friends, do avoid difficult situations where there might be some potential violence and confrontations with enemies where possible, because this is a really volatile and violent kind of combination to have playing out in the 6th house. It is a malefic planet. We've got, you know, Mars is a malefic planet who does very, very well in the 6th house. This is one of the best houses for Mars because Mars is a problem solver and the 6th house is a house of problems. So if you've got Mars there natally, you go, my Virgo friends. That's actually what I've got, and I love it. I love having Mars there, thank God. But it is, so it can be good, but that doesn't lessen the problems. It doesn't make the problems less. It just gives you the ability to solve the problems and find solutions and find a way out. So that's the case this week. If you've got problems that are in your life, you know, debt, lack of education, disadvantage or inequality or something going on, you have what it takes to find solutions to those, you know, circumstances. But it's not going to just take the problems away. You'll have to assert yourself. You'll have to use your willpower to find the solutions and to, you know, tackle them head on, to take on in a warring warrior-like manner, Mars, those issues, those problems. The 6th house represents where we struggle in life and why we struggle, and it could be actually For Virgo people, Aquarius is the sign connected to large groups and friendships, and that can be sometimes an area that we might struggle in if we're a Virgo rising person. And so it could be that in groups like Aquarius style groups and networks and so forth, there might be a bit of volatility that is experienced by Virgo people as well. What else can I say about this? I would just encourage you, Virgo, to direct your energy into physical exercise that can really regulate the flow of energy. Yoga is a great one, Tai Chi, just steady exercise where you are observing, watching, balancing how your muscles are moving and so forth. That would be the best way to utilize this energy. I would also encourage you to avoid electricity or dangerous heights, dangerous machinery with this combination taking place as well. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. And moving right along to Libra. Libra rising, Libra sun, and Libra moon people. Getting ready for the eclipses coming up on your axis, Libra. It's all going to happen. But this week we are looking at a square aspect between Uranus and Mars, and that's exhibiting through your fifth house. Fifth house is a house of fun. And so in the most blessed way for Librans, you could get a surprise or a shock that's actually quite benevolent, quite fun, quite a blessing, and it'll come fast. This is an energy for very quick fortune, very quick blessing, very quick change. So this is going to be very interesting for Libran people. Now, that said, this is also the house of certain other people groups in your life, your children. So, as a Libran moon person, mother energy, I need to be very careful of arguments with my children this week. Confrontations with my children that come out of the blue. I didn't see them happening. I thought everything was happy, happy, joy, joy, and all of a sudden we're butting heads. That could be what is occurring. Also, guard your children, especially little children this week. This could be an energy where accidents can occur or mishaps. Keep your little kids especially away from sharp implements, keep them away from electricity, especially if you've got little toddlers. Make sure you've got those little buttons that you can put into your electricity outlets so that kids can't access them. That sort of thing, very, very important this week. Uranus is electricity, Mars is accidents, connecting together in the house of children here through this square difficult aspect. So I just reiterate, be very careful about those things when it comes to your kids. What else can I say? Well, look, this is an energy for volatility between lovers. This is the house of lovers, and you might think you're going to have romance and, go on a hot date, and it turns out that you just end up fighting the whole time. So be very careful of that. It is also, though, an energy of heightened sexuality. And fifth house is one of the sexual houses. So, my Libran friends, this can be an indicator that even though, it could be an indicator that, you have a big fight, big blow up, but the makeup session sort of far outweighs the negativity of the fight, so to speak, That's what it could look like here. It could look like, the sexually heightened, charged up interaction that comes after we've had some heated energy exchange with our partner. So that, depends what you like. There's Libra, but that could be fun if that's the way you're inclined. Your sex drive will be, and your libido will be amped up. Yay! This can also be an energy where there might be some big changes made to your creative output. You've got a great deal of drive and enthusiasm and vitality to put into your hobbies or something that you're creating or some performance that you're giving. This energy can really sort of fire that up. But I do have to just suggest as well, when it comes to our hobbies, we can take sort of shortcuts or make mistakes because we're feeling hasty and reckless, and then we're disappointed with the results. So keep that in mind as well. But look, in the positive, it's an energy for entrepreneurism here in a very blessed house. So you might be able to get a spontaneous idea or an ability to solve a problem that's going to help you use your hobbies to some financial advantage in the future. It could bring you a lot of joy. Like, for example, Mars is entrepreneurism in the house of hobbies, and with a square from Uranus can give you a sudden inspiration. Boom. Oh, I know how I can turn this hobby into a lucrative industry or a side hustle or into something that, is going to make me money. Very, very psychic and very amped up in that regard, that you can utilize that energy. So pay attention. In fact, I would suggest, and I'll probably do this myself, grab a journal, go to a coffee shop, sit down with a cup of coffee and just brainstorm and see what just comes out through this automatic writing or, just writing down of ideas. You might be really astounded and inspired, Libra, by what comes up. This is a house of creative intelligence, and Uranus is the planet of genius, connecting with Mars, which is all about doing, getting on with the show. And that would be my first place to start. Aquarius is intellectual. So start by doing something like writing down, whatever comes up with this energy. And you might be astounded at what creative inspiration could come through for you after this energy. The final thing I'll just say is this is the house of the sports we enjoy, not professional sports, but sports that we just do for fun and for enjoyment. Whether that's solo sports, like, going for a jog or going for a bit of a kayak or something like that. I would just encourage you with Uranus and Mars in this square, just be careful of the sports you enjoy. Make sure that you're very safe, whatever sports you're undertaking, whatever recreation that you are participating in this week. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon. Here we are. We have the energy of Uranus making a square aspect to Mars falling in angular houses, and when that happens, it makes things it makes it very powerful, actually, because angular houses manifest with greater intensity, so you guys are likely to feel it very strongly. Okay, this could be surprises and shocks that happen in the family. It could be that your partner, perhaps 7th house energy, gets in a Barney or some sort of argument with your family, Scorpio, with your parents. That's what that could look like. Or it could be that you are having some difficulties with family. Arguments, fights, disagreements are represented by this. It's the volcanic energy, literally on the earth, but also within us as well. And, maybe they've pushed your buttons too many times, your parents, and you just blow up and tell them what you think. So try not to, as I've said, throw the baby out with the bathwater in any way here with family, with parents, and try and be gracious and patient where you can so that you don't regret things down the track. This is the realm of the chart that has to do with our house and our home. And Uranus-Mars, it can represent dangerous situations. So be careful of electricity. Make sure all your appliances are functioning as they should. Make sure they're all, not old and, the lights are flickering and all that sort of thing on them. Make sure that they're working well. Replace anything that's not, and check on your electrical wiring if you're at all in doubt. Also, if you've got any sharp implements around the home, knives, if you've got swords over the fireplace or anything like that, even fireplaces and things that give heat are represented by Mars here, do check on all those things or use them with caution and care, because this is the realm of home. Mars is fire and sharp implements, and Uranus is electricity, and it's like fast, sudden, tense aspect of a 90-degree aspect that can see issues occurring in that regard. So be careful, my friends, my Scorpio friends who are having this happen. This is also an energy for making hasty, rash decisions, and it could be regarding a mother or a mother figure or the maternal line that you make a hasty decision. Let's just bang mum in a nursing home, and you just jump in without really exploring all the details, all the topics, all the issues at hand, and you get down the road and think, oh my God, that was the wrong choice to have made. Issues regarding family, issues regarding parenting, issues regarding place of living. You make a hasty decision and you regret it. So hear my voice saying, take your time, research all the options, make sure you know what's the fine print is saying before you just rush on in. Okay, so be really careful. It's not a week for signing up for someone to build you a house or build you make a contract for someone to do a renovation either. I think you would regret it if you sign somebody on this week. Try and postpone it a week if you can. This is the house of stability, security, safety, and belonging. Unfortunately, this energy is quite the opposite to all those things. It's restless, it's anxious, it's dangerous. So again, I just come back to being very cautious. It's an energy where you might find that there's some sort of a shock in your domestic life, Usually with a hard aspect like this, it'll be a shock of a more negative variety, Like, oh my God, I've just discovered we've got rats in the ceiling and they've been gnawing on our electrical wiring or something. That's the kind of shock. Not a shock of, oh, I've just discovered, $4 million in cash in our chimney, Like, it's not like that sort of thing. It's quite the opposite. So forewarned, forearmed there, Scorpio. This is not really a house that has to do with the physical health, but it is our emotional health. This is the fourth house is the house of emotions. And this is an energy of feeling anxious. So avoid stress wherever possible this week. Try and, instead of pushing yourself to go to the max, to go to the extreme in any way, take it slow, take it easy, have time off. If you wake up and you think, oh, I really should be going for a jog, and then I've got to go and, do the grocery shopping and blah, 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 and you've got a list a mile long, instead maybe take an approach of, what, I'm going to have a pajama day. I'm going to, relax and take it easy, nice hot chocolate, watch a favorite movie. I'm going to be kind to myself because I need to look after my nerves. I need to look after my emotional well-being. So whatever is nurturing for your emotions, choose that instead this week, and you'll cope so much better. Now, I'm not saying don't fulfill your responsibilities and duties and obligations. We all have to do that. But, if it's a choice between I have to cook this big exotic meal for dinner or I'm going to buy that quiche at the supermarket and just whack it in the oven, go with the quiche. It's a much better option that will keep your nerves and level of frustration and stress at bay. Okay, make the choice that's going to be kinder to your emotional well-being this week, Scorpio. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. All right, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon. I'm just going to put this on to stop you going for a little stroll. If we're Sagittarius, we are going to be experiencing Mars-Uranus square exhibiting through the 3rd house. And so this is where we might get some sort of surprise or shock or something really unexpected occurring in our life. And of course, 3rd house has to do with relatives, neighbors, siblings. So it could be that we get some shock from our, our brother. They email us and say, oh, I've had this happen, or this has occurred in my life. And we're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Something about relatives, something about neighbors that could be shocking, could be upsetting. Can also mean that a relative or a sibling or a neighbor is about to make a big change in life and it's a shock to you. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it comes as a surprise, It could also represent you having argy-bargy with a relative, a sibling or a neighbor, some sort of fight, some argument, a mishap, an upset that could occur as well, and you don't see it coming. It comes out of the blue, and then you regret it. This is a house of words and how we speak and how we communicate. My friends, this could represent having hasty, rash words with people that you actually do need to keep on side. You don't want to burn your bridges, So don't run in too fast to sort of speak the words that you may regret. Take time, because relationships of all kinds can suffer under Uranus-Mars interaction like this. This is a house of trade, buying, selling, commerce and that sort of thing. It could mean that there could be some fractiousness around buying and selling and trading. Be careful. This is also a house that has to do with our trade and craftsmanship. So I'm so excited, Sagittarius friends. I'm going to something called the Lost Trades Fair on Sunday this week, and it's so good. I've been every year for quite a number of years now. My kids love it. We all love it. But they have everything traditional going on there. The craftsmen from days gone by, people who make chainmail, people who make armor, people who make swords, people who, you name it. But they're using all these big old tools, blacksmiths using the heated irons and bending it to all sorts of things, glass blowers, and people using sharp implements to sort of cut leather and do all sorts of amazing, cool stuff. It's so fantastic. However, if you're into those sorts of things, please be careful this week. I need to share this with the people organizing the event because, my God, it's sharp implements and heated implements as well, Mars, that could cause accidents if you are a tradesperson or a craftsperson. So I just point that out to you. If that's something you're into or something you're experiencing, be very, very careful. Could be a shock or a surprise or some accident or mishap with those kinds of things, with implements and tools and things that we use to create substances and production of goods and things like that. I would just suggest, if you're wanting to learn something this week, that this could give you a lot of heightened energy to push into learning something, It's also an energy where you might be G'd up and really excited about learning something, perhaps something Uranian, astrology, mysticism, the occult, those sorts of things. You might actually enjoy doing a workshop. If you do a workshop, try and be gracious and patient with everybody else in the workshop, because Mars in this combination could make you a bit frustrated and impatient with people who are learning and perhaps not learning as fast as you, or they don't get things in the same way that you are. So keep your perspective. This is the house of the mind. Don't let the mind run down the rabbit holes of what if and anger and frustration and violence towards people. Try and keep your balance. Try and keep your equilibrium. Mars is also courage, and this is a house of bravery. And usually it's bravery due to our mental narrative that we see. So the thoughts we think give us a sense of bravery. This could be amplified under this combination. You Sagittarius people might be feeling like the absolute hero, and you're brave and you're courageous because your mind is telling you that you're the next Spider-Man. just be careful of getting yourself into hot water because of your courageous attitude, okay? That's all I would say about that. You know, don't be biting off more than you can chew. Don't be sort of stepping in to break up a fight and you get sucker punched or something. Be careful about the mental narrative saying that you are the hero. Alrighty. My friends, you aren't going to want to miss the special that I have on offer right now. $100 off my Royal Stars Academy intermediate level. Now is the time to get this special discount for my course, which is over 100 hours long. There's so much rich, deep astrology available for you to learn with me and collaborate on all the workshops together as we learn to explore the heavens together. This is a special discount for Equinox and the astrological new year. I'm only running it for the month of March, so jump in as quick as you can and make the most of this special offer. $100 off the Royal Stars Academy. Links in the description below. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you, Sagittarius. And finally, Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, Capricorn moon people. Well, my friends, you are experiencing the energy of Mars in a square with Uranus exhibiting through the second house. And the second house is how we need to approach making money and obtaining resources. And this energy could actually work in your favor if you like to step out of the norm, if you like to try something new, if you like to take a bit of a risk. Now, that said, this is an energy for challenges and mistakes and that kind of thing. So don't go putting all your money on a certain, company in the stock exchange or something. You might end up regretting that. Don't be hasty about spending. Don't be rushing in to throw your money away on some, get rich quick scheme, because they don't work in the first place. But you might be inspired to want to do that. Uranus, and inspired in a bad way, I mean. Uranus square to Mars is an energy of spending willy-nilly, wanting fast results, being hasty, and, kicking yourself for it later. So be very careful, Capricorn. I mean, Capricorn people aren't usually the sort to rush in and throw their money away anyhow, but I just want to remind you to be careful and cautious about how you're spending your money. Because, look, this is an energy where we lose perspective. Mars, Uranus, we can sort of get so heated up, our nerves become raw, or our anger just bubbles up out of us, and we lose the rational groundedness that we need to make wise choices, in this case in the area to do with how we spend our money, what we spend our money on, and what we need to do to generate money in our life. We can make mistakes there. So forewarned, forearmed, my friends. Careful and cautious is the way to go. Be careful if you're eating anything hot. Mars is hot, spicy foods, and Uranus can cause sudden shocks. And so, you go and you're out to dinner at the local Indian restaurant and you're like, yeah, I love hot curry. You order the hottest curry on the menu. My God, you live to regret it. You're on the toilet all night long. That sort of thing. Be very careful. With what you're eating, the spiciness or the heat, you could burn your tongue under this energy. But also, Mars rules sharp implements, and Uranus creates this energy of shocks and surprises. You're cutting your steak and, you lift some gravy on your knife and put it in your mouth and you cut your tongue. That's the kind of thing. Be careful with sharp implements, with hot foods. This is the realm of the chart that has to do with, food intake, how we eat and what we eat. Careful. Okay, what else can I say about this energy? It's an energy that has to do with what we need to do to feel stable, secure, and grounded in life. So Capricorn, I've already told you that it's easy to lose perspective with what you're spending, but also we can sort of put our ideas for stability and security in the wrong place. I'll feel safe in the world if I get this alarm system. I'll feel safe in the world if I have these guns in the cupboard and so forth. I want to just say that this is not an energy for making hasty decisions about how you're going to feel more safe and secure and solid in the world. do be careful before you rush in to make choices that you think are going to create more stability and security. So just forewarned also about that one. You might be feeling very restless and anxious about your money, about your resources. Am I going to have enough? It's an energy, second house is an energy for storage and hoarding. You might be like, I don't have enough food in the pantry, or my chickens aren't laying, so I'm not getting eggs right now, and biting my nails, what am I going to eat? And what am I going to do? Feeling restless, feeling anxious, feeling nervy and tense about your ability to provide stability and security in the material realm. So whatever you need to do to calm the energy is worth pursuing. We don't attract good things to us when our vibration is tense and fraught. It's when we're peaceful and when we flow that things come into our life that we need in just the right time, in just the right way, because the universe has our back when we're in the right place vibrationally. So I just want to encourage you, Capricorn, do what you can to avoid nerviness, anxiousness, restlessness, whatever that looks like to you. If you're worried about money in the bank, just, I don't know, maybe you decide that you're going to make yourself a cup of tea or something like that, and just not worry about it for the time being and deal with it. As Scarlett O'Hara always used to say, I'll worry about that tomorrow. Come back to it later when you're more grounded, more balanced, and you can actually deal with things in a more flowing manner rather than a fraught manner. So I hope that all makes sense. I don't know that I've explained myself very well there. I know what I'm trying to say, but I hope you do too. So my friends, we are at the end of our whip around the horoscope. I hope this reading this week is a blessing for you. Don't forget to join me next week when we are exploring the eclipse. I can't wait. I'll catch you then.